Hello, poker fans across the world. I think we're ready. We're live. Welcome to the Speedway Event Center. This is the main event of a very long weekend of poker. We're on our feature table now. We had 130 players enter. Thus far, there's still plenty of time to get in. If you're in the area, come on down to the Speedway Event Center. To my left, Steve or Stab? Okay, that's what I thought. Steve, are you? What are you going to do today, or what's your game plan going into today to try to make a run at the final table?
I guess I'd like to see some good hands. Do some stuff.
Yeah, see good hands and do some stuff. I think that is a very solid game plan coming into today. To my right, Chris Wendt. What's your game plan coming into today?
Just see some good cards. I don't know.
Hopefully you see two cards in your hand at all times at the very least. So, and on that note, we're going to bring Randy in. We're going to get the shuffle up and deal going. Randy will deal two cards to everyone, so no worries there. Good luck, players. We'll see you all soon.
Shuffle up and deal. 300, 600, with a 600 big blind.
All right, and we are back in the booth. Welcome, poker fans. My name's Brian. Alongside me today, for right now, we have Keith.
Hello, Brian.
Yeah, nice to share the booth with someone. Bernard Keith Louder III.
That's me. That's the full thing.
Wow.
The full thing, yeah.
Okay. It's a very nice name. We need you. It's like a medieval times type of name.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and introduce our players on the felt. In seat one, we have Steve Bossany of Moorhead. He's going to start out with 46,100 in chips. Seat two, Gary Zoller from Fargo, starting out with 16,000 in chips. Seat three, Christian Young of West Fargo, starting with 17,100 in chips. Seat four, Ted Canine of Fargo, 60,600 in chips. Seat five will be Niles Short of Minnewacan, starting out with 22,000. Seat six, Aaron Knudsen of Adrian, North Dakota, 32,400 in chips. Seat seven will be Don Drummond of Fargo, 68,800 in chips. Seat eight, Alex Knudsen, no relation to Aaron, but maybe we'll find one, of Fargo, 36,200 in chips. And rounding off our feature table is Chris Wendt of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. He's starting with an even 20,000.
So that will round out this feature table group. We've got one heck of a tournament going on. I believe 14 or 15 tables rolling already through the first break. Players still have 4 levels as well as another 10 or 15 minute break to get into this Dakota Poker Tour Championship event. $150 buy-in alongside 3 additional add-ons. This prize pool is ballooning in a hurry, Brian.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and if this tournament has any kind of turnout as we did last night for our $100 satellite night turbo, I think we had like over
160 entries, yeah.
Wow, 160.
9 spots, 4270 for the champion. That was Mike Estes.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a run, you could say, but ended up busting out with about 30 players left.
I know how that goes.
Yeah, so not a big deal, but we also had some Survivor tournaments, and those are always fun. And
yeah, for sure.
here we have a potentially massive hand brewing with Gary Zoller flopping trips.
Yeah. Christian Young, nothing yet. We'll see if he wants to tag along. You can see he's in very rough shape. 1% does not look very promising.
No.
There is the check mark for Gary on the turn.
So Gary's thinking value, 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 all in with the short stack. So
Christian folds. That's one of those boards where ace high can be good some of the time, but he doesn't put any thought in that and makes a good fold. So 300, 600, we're in level 5. Everybody's got plenty of chips, plenty of big blinds. We're going to cycle a couple different feature table groups in for this tournament today. And we'll be here streaming the final table all the way up until the conclusion. I'm sure this thing will go down to the wire about 2 a.m.
Yeah.
by the time it wraps up today.
We never talk about the end time, because then it will definitely be a 2 a.m.er.
Right.
However, there is also another tournament tomorrow at the Speedway, so if you can't quite make it out today, I believe it's a bounty tournament.
Yeah, Black Chip Bounty, I think. $200 buy-in with a $100 optional add-on.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, that'll cap off our championship series this weekend. Dakota Poker Tour alongside Roughrider Poker Tour. Points for both tours. And is this the last weekend to accumulate points for the 2022-2023 season?
We will crown a champion tonight.
Perfect.
Well, possibly tomorrow. I think those points count for as well. But nonetheless, we will find a DPT champion this weekend.
Mark
and
Duffner is leader coming in, I believe I saw.
he is on the top right now. I think followed closely behind by, I want to say, Bossum. Let's find that leaderboard real quick. Joel Clipping with his big win in Valley City.
Yep.
Had the honors of dealing in that tournament and dealing the final tables. So Joel Clipping just about 250 points behind Mark Duffner. So Joel can make a run here and have the Duff bust out early before he's in the money. Joel very well could be taking our #1 spot
I
tonight.
did see Joel today. I don't know if I've seen Bossum yet, but I'm sure he will be here this weekend.
Yeah, he's in Moorhead, so he should be around. So he's third, and Alfred Castellanos, 8,515 in points. He's only 1,100 points off the lead. So, and then Eric Zietz in fifth place with just over 8,000 in points.
Yeah,
so
he got all that by winning the Casino State Championship, I believe, over New Year's for us.
Oh, sure.
Spirit Lake Casino, that was 32,000 for first place.
Jeez.
Yeah, massive. Going to be even bigger this year.
Looking forward to it. And yeah, so this is again a Dakota Poker Tour and Roughrider co-sponsored event, points for both tours, and this is my first time working with the Roughrider crew, and it's been nothing but smooth and a really good experience thus far.
Happy to hear it. We are very happy to be here, and the way things are going, I really hope we can do some more partnership-type tournaments in the future. I think it's beneficial to both brands, and you know, I've seen a lot of players from the Bismarck area that have been here already this weekend, so I mean, it's just good to see, you know, all these players coming from far and wide to support both our tours. Oh, sure.
Yeah, you guys probably don't make it all the way to Fargo too often. You're generally out west in Montana, South Dakota.
Yeah, we travel mostly the central and western part of the states, and as well as Montana. And if you haven't heard, we are in the works of putting together the largest poker tournament in the history of the state of Montana next weekend. That is the Montana State Poker Championship at the Billings Hotel and Convention Center. We are bringing this feature table live stream there for the first time as well. $470 buy-in. Players can buy in up to a total of 4 times. The buy-in limit in Montana is $1,875. We're expecting just record-breaking numbers across the board. So
I would expect that too, and yeah, that's incredible to see. And it'd be fun to experience a tournament on that caliber with that much money at stake. For sure, the big players are marking their calendars. Like, I want to play in that one. That's the big money. Probably rivaling a little bit of an MSPT type of prize pool.
It's really getting up there. These Montana tournaments are huge for sure. We've seen some Fargo players that have made the trek over the last few times we've been out there. So, I mean, they're coming from everywhere to Billings for sure.
It's just one state over, but
right
into one of the largest states in America.
Probably about a 9-hour drive from Fargo to Billings, but definitely worth the drive if you can make that deep run.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can bring some exciting action here from this feature table. Looks like Donald Drummond, 10-9, middle pair. That's the best hand at the moment.
Niles does pick up a gutter. Same thing with Christian.
a friendly wager of 600 chips. It's probably going to get both of these players coming along to see a river. Ace of diamonds.
It's definitely should be scaring Don a little bit, knowing he had middle pair with the overcard on the board. Seeing an ace on the river is not what you want to see.
Yeah, Niles looks like he's happy to check back and see that his ace is indeed good for the pot.
Kind of makes you want to, you know, in Don's position, to maybe bet a little bit more aggressively than the minimum bet, just to make sure if you're going to see the next card, you're going to be paying a lot more, and it might cause a high eight or just an ace high hand to just fold.
Yeah, he gave everybody a really good price,
So why not? Let's call, see what happens,
Yeah.
and ace on the river, and luckily it wasn't too much damage to the chip stacks, but
yeah, these early stages, it's interesting to see when we bring the feature table early in the tournaments. Players do a lot more speculation than in later stages when they've, 10, 15, 20 big blinds playing for huge pay jumps. Right now it's early in the day and players are seeing a lot of flops. You'll see a lot of interesting play, especially on the feature table, I've noticed. Some players really like to mix it up knowing they're on camera and people can see their hole cards and stuff. So we'll see what we get today. This is a pretty
actually,
good mix of players,
I
think,
just
on the
got
screen.
a note from our research team out in the field. Nick Ingolfsland, reigning champion of this tournament from last year, won $11,230. He's out. He busted.
He is out. We will have a new champion.
So that's certainly exciting, and I actually got a chance to play with Nick quite a bit last night in the Survivor tournament, and I believe we were on the same table together in the tournament, unless I'm confusing him with Mark Duffner. But either way, both very strong players. But Nick, his tournament life is over today. Could come back tomorrow for the bounty tournament, which I'm sure he will.
Oh, yeah. Loves to play.
Actually, if I remember correctly, Nick was behind by just a couple points at the end of this tournament last year, and had to just register or buy into Sunday's tournament in order to take the outright lead.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, but he had family obligations. We won't say I don't know what they were, but he said, I gotta take care of the family or spend time with them. Still came back to get his Player of the Year. Quite an incredible story
a good
there,
story.
and hopefully his family wasn't too upset about that.
Right. So I believe we're on a 15-minute delay here with this live stream today. We should be live on the Dakota Poker Tour as well as Roughrider Poker Tour Facebook pages. And are we live on YouTube as well?
We should be live on
live,
YouTube and Facebook, yes.
Yeah, so make sure to like and share if you are watching this video. You still got time to get down to the Speedway Event Center here in West Fargo for your chance at a massive prize pool.
Right on Main Avenue. Super easy to find. Although parking is getting tight because our field is swelling.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily for us, it's not snowing anymore as it was yesterday, or raining.
The weather has cooperated so far today. I talked to one of our RPT players from Bismarck who came over. He said not a drop of condensation on the road all the way here, so good to hear.
Yeah.
We've got Randy Villanon in the box here. Very experienced feature table dealer. Does a great job getting these cards out.
Yeah,
keeping the action moving.
He's definitely one of the favorites and a staple here on the Dakota Poker Tour.
We've had him come to Minot. We've had him come to Spirit Lake Casino. He's dealt some RPT stuff for us. Love to have him on board.
He's a very sought-after dealer.
Yeah,
but
he is, right. Don Drummond with the Ace-King. Going to make it 2,100. Doesn't look like any of these hands want to give him any resistance. We've got Aaron with the mystery hand in the hijack. And that'll do things for Don Drummond's Ace-King. Raise and take it.
Oh, yeah, everyone folds, so. And that's all right. I like seeing chips come my way at any point of the tournament. Even if you do have a premium hand, doesn't mean everyone else does. And as long as you come out on top, I'm happy with scooping chips
Absolutely
into my stack. I'm seeing here as well at least 4 out of the 10 top Roughrider Poker Tour players in the points race are here in the field.
Yes, I did see that as well. If you didn't know, the Roughrider Poker Tour Player of the Year wins a $5,000 prize package to the 2024 World Series of Poker.
$5,000 prize package to the next year's
World Series of Poker. We
Wow.
go January to December. So that'll wrap up at Spirit Lake Casino over New Year's. And this year, for the first time ever, we're also offering a $5,000 prize package to the Montana Player of the Year. So 2 separate leaderboards, 2 separate 5K prize packages up for grabs. Somebody could win them both. You never know.
Goose, you know the last image up here? No image. No, just a black screen it's on, but. Yeah, so I was getting all the players' names down, writing them down just when we're coming onto the featured table. And I don't know if it was the couple cocktails I had last night or if it was the somewhat poor handwriting, we'll call it. But I looked at Steve's name in seat 1, and I could have sworn it said Stab. S-T-A-B. I don't know. I don't know what that was. Is your name Stab? No, it's Steve. Oh, well, that makes a lot more sense. So that would have been a real interesting name had his parents actually named him Stab.
Could have been huge, slasher movie fans.
Yeah. We just lost some image on our screen, so for us in the booth, we cannot see anything. But hopefully we'll get this thing back up and rolling so we know exactly what's going on. And we have image once again. Hopefully we didn't miss anything too exciting.
Didn't hear too many oohs and ahs through the curtain. But we are back.
So Keith, how long have you been into poker?
Oh, let's see. I'm 34 now. I think I learned how to play when I was about 15 or 16 on a baseball road trip over the weekend, and just grew my love from there. I was a player, followed all the tours around in my early 20s. I was Roughrider Poker Tour Player of the Year back in 2016.
Wow.
Chased it for the next couple seasons, came up a little short for the back-to-back, and ended up just becoming a mostly full-time dealer.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, me and a couple buddies, we got into dealing at the Golden Nugget in Vegas for their summer series a couple of years. Dealt on the World Series circuit for a few years. COVID happened, everything got shut down, and I've just been full-time RPT since then. But
Wow.
just love being around the game and love being back in the commentary booth when I can as well.
Right.
So Christian Young with the King 9 looks like top
Ooh.
pair up against two mystery hands. He's all in.
It's all in the big blind. Be about 9,000, which isn't too big of a chunk for Ted. Aaron will have to think. He's going to fold.
Yeah,
We'll
just
keep
a bit outside. Set hunting there for Aaron. So Christian happy to scoop, get back to 15,000 in chips. Still plenty of big blinds, plenty of work to do. Still playing 300 and 600 blinds, level 5. Dakota Poker Tour main event championship. This thing got over $11,000 up top for a one-day tournament last year. And looks like we are on pace to getting that or even more by the size of this growing field.
I'm seeing now we've added 7 players since starting our live stream, so we're up to 137, and 8 people have busted out thus far.
Okay. One of them, last year's champion, Nick Ingolfsland. So we'll have a new winner when this thing wraps up here in about 11 or 12 hours, whatever time that will be.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
I will say, if you are Chris or Christian, having just around 10,000 in chips, with the blind levels being this way, it still costs $1,500 to make one orbit around the table or finance
yes.
that. So it is time about to kind of just shoving. A raise isn't going to do it, because if you just raise and try to steal a pot and someone comes over the top, you have not really much to back it. So you'd rather just shove at that point.
You might see some 3-bet all-ins from these shorter stacks for sure. Tough to find the right price, leaving yourself not much behind here.
So 5 players in. We'll see a check from Christian, Todd, and check around to Gary, who has mystery cards.
Yeah, from the hands we see, Steve with the 7-6 out in front with middle pair.
Christian will come along. Todd folds.
Christian with bottom pair. Getting a little sticky here. He wants to see a turn card. And that's a pretty good card for the 9-3.
Wow. Christian checks. We'll see a check, and we'll see if anyone takes a stab at it. No, and a 2 on the river.
Trip 3s for Christian Young. Small blind special. He's going to try to get some value here on this river.
Bet is 2.4. Quick folds, and Christian Young scoops a nice pot, putting him over 20,000 in chips now, probably over 25,000 in chips. Unless that's already updated to be 19,500.
Yeah, it could be. So the live stream is rolling. Roughrider Poker Tour and Dakota Poker Tour Facebook pages. Make sure to like and share.
And subscribe.
Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. We'll give you a shout out here. We're on a 15-minute delay, but once we see it.
Yeah, Keith and I are monitoring the live stream chats. So if you have any questions for us, maybe want some insight.
Sure. Okay, fair enough. So sounds like Jerry Sorrels, the RPT CEO and president, will be coming back here as soon as the Blinds go up here in about 7 minutes.
Yeah, you forgot all-around good guy as well.
All-around good guy.
Yeah.
He will be here shortly. He's good in the booth. Plenty of insight on poker and plenty of stuff to talk about in the upcoming months for both of our poker tours. Do you know when the next DPT weekend is after this one?
I believe we're mostly, quote-unquote, on break. However, we still have the Player Appreciation Free Roll and the Tournament of Champions to play. That is actually Sunday, May 7th. I'm going to look up a venue for that. That would be pretty helpful for you guys to know that.
Perfect, okay.
But that is Player Appreciation Free Roll. All players are invited. If you've played in the DPT this year, you get to play in that. And then our Tournament of Champions, anyone who has won a DPT event throughout this year will be able to play. It's another free roll. And both of the prizes on that is a $1,500 World Series of Poker prize
Awesome.
package.
Very cool. And then you guys take the summer off?
Take the summer off, yep. Yeah.
Pick back up in the fall for the 2022-2023 season, or 23-24?
Probably starting September, October, right in there is when things start kicking off again.
Okay.
We do not have a venue for the DPT Championship.
To be determined. Okay, so check back. Dakota Poker Tour website, Roughrider Poker Tour website. We've both got calendars if you want to find some events in your area to play. Under the gun, Don Drummond picking up American Airlines pocket aces. Let's see how this hand plays out.
Yeah, definitely a few different ways to play aces, but they seem to always get cracked.
He's going to make it a little over 2.5 times. Pretty standard raise. We'll see if anybody wakes up with something to play with here.
Gary could. Yeah, he'll call.
He's got the 2 8s. We see one of his 8s about to go into the muck right next door from Christian. Oh, Christian makes the call.
Wow.
Okay. We've got a little pop brewing here.
Aaron in the big blind will call for 1,000 more. We'll see a flop here. Jack, Queen, 5. Great flop for Don.
Second pair for Christian could get him into some trouble.
And depending on what Aaron has. But he'll check over to Don. Don definitely wants to throw a nice little price out there.
About half pot here.
There it is. I think that's a good bet. Not too strong, but if you want to play, you know, the damage has been done on the pre-flop.
We saw Jack go into the muck as well as 2 8s, so Christian in rough shape, and that is a check mark for Don Drummond. 3 aces. And he's going to check it over to Christian. He does
Potentially,
not fall for it.
That is a
and
nasty
a very scary
card
for both players, yeah.
See the 10, not allowing Don to really bet anymore.
Don goes on the defensive there. Prepared to probably just check call, but Christian not interested. Checks it back, and Don Drummond, 3 aces, scoops him a 14,500 chip pot.
Yeah, Christian's call of that pre-flop raise, definitely a 10 in his range at that point. So not bad, but, you know, I like seeing aggressive players. I hate seeing checks all the way down to the river, and then you just flip up cards because that's not too much. I want to see action.
Right. Us in the booth and you guys watching at home, definitely want to see some big hands going bump in the night and a lot of players making some big raises, some all-ins.
And I do believe our blinds will be going up shortly. That will be to 4-8 with an $800 big blind ante. So the cost to play will be going up soon.
Yeah, players started with 20,000 chips today. 3 optional add-ons for 10K apiece, so you could have bought the whole kit and caboodle for $325 with the dealer appreciation, and you could have started with 50,000 in chips if you chose to do so. A lot of these players did. Some of them still have some add-ons in the chamber if need be.
We got a couple of deuces for Niles Short for 600. We'll see a flop for that price.
Don Drummond's got the what we call the RPT nuts, Brian, the 10-7.
10-7.
That is Jerry's favorite hand. Flops the most full houses, he likes to say.
Jeez.
7-4 deuce,
So
top pair for Don, bottom set for Niles. Don is going to lead out. We'll see how Niles wants to play this one.
Alex will bow out. Niles will see if he decides to raise it up here or just...
He's going to walk the dog here for one more street, makes the call. I like this play.
disguising the strength of your hand.
Concerning there. I mean, a couple weird straights get there. Now 2 flush draws available on the turn. Don going to check it over to Niles. And I don't imagine him wanting to see another free card.
I think it makes it 2,100.
Yeah, nice
22.
wager there, about 1/3 pot. Don still left with top pair. He may want to speculate for one more card.
It's probably tough to arrive at a set if you're Don.
Yeah, you can't know too much about his hand just yet. Definitely didn't expect him to make any kind of check raise play there, but this could be a very troublesome situation. Wow, he makes 2 pair, but
Check,
Niles very concerned with the 2 clubs on the flop. The flush draw gets there on the river. No money goes in. That could have been a lot more action. But Niles short, gonna scoop that pot, and the blinds are going up. And Brian, I'm gonna head back out onto the tournament floor, and Jerry will be joining you shortly.
All right, thank you.
It's been a
Keith.
pleasure. We'll see
Yeah.
you soon.
Look forward to more times this weekend. So Jerry Sorrels will be joining us, joining me shortly. Certainly want to thank all of our sponsors there. Obviously, we are at the Speedway Event Center in West Fargo. Thanks for being gracious hosts and allowing us to use the venue. Also, thanks to Roughrider Poker Tour for joining us for this long weekend of poker. Also, all charitable proceeds will go to the West Fargo Rural Fire Department and FPN Gaming as well. Another sponsor of the event, and all this is being streamed off of a Cast Clay wireless internet box. Plug it in, it gets connection, and it's a beautiful thing. Steve Bossany will raise it to 2,200. Christian Young will call. And we'll have 2 to the flop. Ooh, flop comes queen, 6, king, 2 hearts out there. Steve Bossany flops trips. Christian Young does have a pretty big and strong flush draw. So Christian will pet 3,600. Steve will call. If you're Steve, you love to see the other player betting into this pot. A 9 on the turn. Steve doesn't have to do anything to disguise the strength of his hand. He just needs to call and eventually raise here. So another blank on the river, and Steve will bet 4,000. Christian, middle, second pair rather. See if Christian can get away from second pair. Hello. All right, and joining me now in the booth is Jerry Sorrels of the Roughrider Poker Tour. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Just was out on the tournament floor. I think we got 139 players registered, and add-ons were about 350 add-ons. So every player's
Wow.
in for about 240 currently. Late reg reentry is still open till approximately 4:30 today, the first 8 levels. So prize pool is growing towards an excess of $40,000. So make sure
Wow.
you get down here to the Speedway Event Center, Fargo, North Dakota.
Yes, we are at 142 registered players. Really good turnout. Glad we set up all these tables because they are needed.
Absolutely. I always like to be over-prepared as opposed to under-prepared.
Always.
Yep. Except for my stakes. Those are under.
Always under.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Rest them up to the proper
Yeah.
temperature.
Yes, make sure you guys rest your stakes for about 7 to 10 minutes, okay? Thank you.
Anywhere in there. So we got a call from Gary, Christian, and a call from Niles Short. And a call from Don. I think we might have a dead card out there or two. Or the players just aren't putting their cards in the proper positions on the table. No big deal. Sometimes I like it when we can't see cards and we can kind of play along.
Yes, we called it the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Mystery Hand.
Yeah, there you go. If only we were sponsored by them, we can get all the beef jerky we want.
Yeah, we would just be munching on beef jerky right now. But we can rectify that. We can go somewhere on dinner break if you want and get
some Jack Link's
yeah.
beef jerky.
maybe some like jalapeno ones or some cheddar sausage or anything like that.
A big teriyaki or just that classic barbecue.
Okay,
is
I feel you.
My favorite.
Yep, I understand. That sounds good.
I don't deal so well with the hot, spicy stuff.
Okay, doesn't sit well with you?
No, I just can't handle spice. It's
okay.
Just the burn.
Yeah, my 4-year-old's the same way.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
There you go. Flop comes ace, 5, deuce. Chris catches middle pair. See a bet from Gary. Had we seen his cards, we might see that he has an ace. We might not. Chris will call along with Don. 4 to the turn.
And Niles called there as well with the 8 high.
Backdoor flush draw. And kind of backdoor
straight, yeah.
straight. And for 800, 30K in your stack, it's might be worth to look at a fourth card. Wow, Chris catching 2 pair on the turn. He'll bet 1100. See a call from Gary. I think Gary has an ace in his hand. That's why he's still here. Potentially same with Don. See 3 to the river, and the river is a 4 of diamonds.
That'll probably affect Chris's decision, obviously, as he checks here. There's a 4-card straight on the board. Don's going to fire 3,600.
Yeah, on a raised pot pre-flop.
Chris makes the call.
3s really shouldn't be in anyone's holdings.
Wow, Don.
There it is.
Don,
Deuce 3.
deuce 3, flopped bottom pair and a gut shot. River the gut shot.
That's just because I don't know. What do I know? Yeah, he had deuce 3. That was in his holding.
Yeah, well, sometimes, people, they have other ideas when they sit down at the poker table. Also, too, I've seen how the stream does affect play, obviously. So
yeah.
People under those bright lights, those different circumstances, sometimes they get the blood boiling and they decide to do things that they normally wouldn't.
Yeah, I think on break, Saw a couple players lathering up some sunscreen.
Yep.
They're under the lights and just want to stay protected. We got that fresh winter skin, if you will, where it's not colored yet.
Yep.
Got to protect your skin at all
Definitely
times.
seen that a lot. Yep.
There's another sponsorship opportunity for some kind of sunscreen or.
Fun fact: I tried to get Gold Bond to be a certified sponsor of Roughrider Poker Tour.
way.
I did send them an email. They actually notified me that all of their sponsorships were allocated for the calendar year. But Gold Bond medicated powder, when you need it, it always comes through. But fortunately,
Not for sponsorships.
yeah, they weren't on board. But there's always next year.
There is. Yeah, maybe we can get in that allocation. Is that Gold Bond a poker player might use it to because they're sitting down for so long?
Oh no, I'm just talking about staff, just staff.
Oh,
only.
just
because
staff.
we're walking around on our feet.
Yeah.
So often. So really, tournament directors, we're so often on our feet. Like for example, last night I had 20,000 steps. Okay, and that was, and right now I'm at 10,000 steps here, and we're not even halfway through the day.
Yeah, it's 3
you know?
o'clock.
Yeah. So really, it just helps out. Also, Roughrider Poker Tour next weekend will be in Billings, Montana at the Billings Hotel and Convention Center. We will be running the Montana State Poker Championship. That is expected to be the largest prize pool in RPT history. Okay. We are on our 20th year this year. It's a $470 buy-in. We're projecting it to be over $125,000 prize pool. So for more details on that, make sure you visit roughriderpokertour.com. We also run $120 satellites for that event as well. We run 3 super satellites, so you can turn 120 into possibly in excess of 30,000. We're looking at for first place. So,
Wow. How do you arrive at these projections? Not that I'm saying they're wrong, but
Sure, no. I tell you what, I'm a numbers guy, Brian. I love numbers. But anyway, every year that we've been doing the Spring Poker Showdown out there and the Montana State Poker Championship, the Montana State Poker Championship is been a month later, and it's been bigger than the Spring Poker Showdown every year. So just a month ago, we were there for the Spring Poker Showdown. We had 334 entries. So I'm expecting to supersede that. And all we need is 354 entries for it to be the largest prize pool in RPT
Wow.
history. So, and it's just been consistently that way. And that's without the stream. We got the stream coming for the Montana State Poker Championship next weekend. So I know that's going to draw players in who want to be under that spotlight, who want to be telling their friends and family, like, hey, check me out. I'm at a Roughrider Poker Tour feature table or final table. So it's
preferably final.
yeah, that's the best. Yeah.
Yeah, and Montana players probably don't get to experience the live stream. I don't know what
It's
options there
it's
are.
never been in Montana. They've never had an
Wow.
RFID table there for any tournaments. We've already run the largest poker tournament for prize pool wise in Montana last year with the Montana State Poker Championship. So not only will this be, like I said, it's projected to be the largest prize pool in RPT history, it'll be the largest tournament in Montana poker history.
Woo!
Yeah.
Breaking records. That's what we like to hear. I believe last year this was a record-breaking event for DPT. So we're going to have a slew of hopefully records broken between both of these tours. And this year's been quite, it's been kind of not quite shaking up, but really being conducive with the poker players in the state of North Dakota with DPT and RPT teaming up and giving points at both tournaments to both tours.
Yeah.
And then just teaming up with equipment and staff to help run bigger tournaments, smoother tournaments, just all around pretty awesome stuff. So.
Yeah, and really we're just scratching the surface with it, So it's
Completely.
hasn't even been maybe 6 months we've been partnering together. So just excited for what the future can hold. I love coming to. We've always wanted to come to Fargo. This is the first time Roughrider Poker Tour has ever been to Fargo.
Wow.
So we've always wanted to come here to run a big event, and this is a perfect scenario where we're partnering with Dakota Poker Tour, Brooke Leiter, Dana Castaneda, Brian, yourself as well. It's just everything's been great and smooth so far, and we just look forward to coming out here a couple times a year to make big tournaments. That's what it's about. It's for the players, really.
It is.
It's for the players.
It is. And to come into this venue and kind of see this whole production, it's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
It's sick. Like,
Yep.
if you're in Fargo and just want to pop in, say hi to some of your poker friends or whatever.
Grab yourself a nice cold Coors Light tour sponsor.
Yeah.
Just feel free.
Come on down. Come see what we got going on. And our set actually has cleaned up quite a bit. Blessing in disguise when our business got robbed, broken into. Our old cameras were stolen in that, and now we've since upgraded to these bird dog cameras. And
the ones that are mounted to the trusses that we're talking about. Those are so cool. Yeah.
No tripods around the set anymore. It's just really slick. So really happy with how this set has turned out. Oh, and it does sound like we're having some technical difficulties. So unfortunately, well, that's why we do these streams early on, to iron out all the details and get stuff dialed in for the final table action. So with that, Jerry, thank you for joining me.
That's it? You're relieving me?
I'm going to relieve both of us.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to wrap things up here. We're down at the Speedway Event Center. This is the DPT Championship. A winner will be crowned tonight. It could be you if you come on down here and play. But thanks all for tuning in. We'll be back a little bit later today. See the conclusion